The HP ProBook series of laptops has always been popular bestsellers thanks to its value-orientated business offerings. Now in its 9th generation powered by Intel's U or P series of processors, is it still a fantastic machine for your home and or office? Let's find out. The G9 hasn't changed much from its predecessor, the G8. The silver casing is primarily made of aluminium and plastic, starting at 1.38 kilograms or just over 3 pounds. You can easily carry it with one hand as it's fairly lightweight. It's military standard 810H certified, meaning that it can endure some daily wear and tear. It feels well put together with a little flexing on the display lid and solid on the keyboard deck. The internals are fairly easy to get into. Undo the 5 Phillips captive screws, pry the bottom panel with a plastic tool, and lift the panel away. There's 2 SODIMM slots for up to 32GB of DDR4 RAM in dual channel mode. One PCIe NVMe Gen3 x4 M.2 SSD TLC slot is available for up to 1TB storage. The 51.3 Wh battery is removable too. Note some G9 models have a smaller 42 Wh battery inside. This review model has a 14-inch Full HD 1920 by 1080 IPS display panel. Screen brightness is rated at excellent 400 nits, useful if you need to work near a sunny window or outside in the shade. Viewing angles are excellent as you would expect from an IPS panel. Color accuracy is rated at 72% NTSC. Contrast is good with rich blacks, perfect for office working from home or college work. If you need a color-accurate display for your creative work, look at the EliteBook or ZBook range. There is an extra variant with 1000 nits brightness, an anti-glare coat, HP SureView Reflect and HP IEs. Tip: don't get this model unless you really need the SureView privacy filter. Plus there's a base model with 250 nits display panel. Avoid this if possible. On the left we have a Nano Kensington lock, a Gigabit RJ45 Ethernet port, and a USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 5 gigabits per second. On the right we have AC power, USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2, 10 gigabits per second signaling rate, USB power delivery DisplayPort 2.1, 2 USB Type-A 5 gigabits per second signaling rate, 1 charging 1 power, HDMI 2.1B, headphone microphone combo, and an optional nano SIM card slot for those who want LTE connectivity. The Wi-Fi card inside the 440 G9 is the Realtek RTL 8852AE, offering Wi-Fi 6 2x2 and Bluetooth 5.2. Wireless connectivity was great with the Wi-Fi 6 access point across 2 rooms, and Bluetooth was reliable with a mouse or headset. The HP Premium keyboard is backlit and comfortable to type on. It has a spill-resistant design and a dedicated power button. The touchpad is large and supports Windows Precision drivers for smooth gestures. There's also an optional fingerprint reader for biometric security. The finger tracking is accurate and the 2 integrated buttons have a tactile feel with average noise when depressed. The trackpad could be larger but is limited by the 14-inch chassis dimensions. The 440 G9 has dual stereo speakers and dual array microphones. The speakers are located on top of the keyboard, so front-facing. Audio is average at best. It's not particularly loud at high volume, and the range is lacking in depth. Fine for office use or calls via Teams. The 720p HD IR privacy web camera is just above average, passable for working from home or video meetings with your work colleagues. If you need better quality, go for external 1080p or 4K webcam. Inside this review model is the 12th gen Intel Core i7-1255U based on the Alder Lake architecture. The CPU offers 2 performance cores, clock rate ranges from 1.7 to 4.7 GHz, and 8 efficient cores, 1.2 to 3.5 GHz clock rate, supporting 12 threads. TDP is rated at 15 watts. Memory is provided by a single stick of 16 GB of DDR4 running at 3200 MHz. It's not the faster DDR5 found in its more expensive cousins. Storage inside is a 512 GB of PCIe 3.0 NVMe M.2 SSD. In reality, the 440 G9 flies through most daily work tasks, whether you have multiple browser tabs open, streaming music in the background, chatting to colleagues on Teams, or catching up with your Outlook emails. If you want the maximum performance, keep the 440 plugged into the mains as performance drops on battery power only. Benchmarking results also show good scores. Cinebench R23 testing produced a score of 7,590 multi-core and 1,635 in single-core. 3D Mark Time Spy results came in with an overall score of 1,295, CPU score of 4,802, and a graphics score of 1,148. 3D Mark Time Spy Extreme overall came in at 576, graphics score 507, and CPU score 2,588. PC Mark 10 had an overall score 5,257. Geekbench 5.5 gave a CPU score of 1,627 in single-core and 6,215 in multi-core and 13,071 in the compute benchmark. Superposition resulted in a score of 1,647. The Intel i7-1255U sits above the AMD Ryzen 5 Pro 6650U and only just below the Intel Core i7-1270P. The single fan stays quiet the majority of the time even when taxed, definitely one for quiet environments. With heavy workloads, the laptop does get lukewarm underneath and around the keyboard, hitting 36 Celsius or 97 Fahrenheit, but not enough to worry about. In normal use, thermals are not noticeable. Inside the 440 G9 is an Intel Iris Xe graphics. The GPU clocks with a base clock speed guaranteed of 400 MHz in all CPUs and can boost up to 1340 MHz. The Iris Xe sits below the AMD Radeon RX Vega 11 and above the NVIDIA GeForce MX 350 in benchmark scores. In gaming, the Iris Xe is only for the lowest graphical settings and low resolutions in demanding games like Cyberpunk 2077. In this game, it struggled even in low settings. It's best suited for casual gaming after work or college. Apex Legends will play in medium settings with no problem, or stick to basic games like Minecraft. Inside the G9 is a HP Long Life 3-cell 51 Wh battery. In general office type usage, battery life was around 8 to 9 hours. Light web usage resulted in around 12 hours, good enough to last a full day at the office or working from home. The G9 comes with a 45-watt USB Type-C adapter. The adapter can fast charge the battery to 50% in 30 minutes. Tip: don't buy the G9 model with the smaller 42 Wh battery, as this will give you around 6 hours battery life. HP have bundled a mixture of software and hardware security tools with the G9, a fingerprint sensor, TPM 2.0 embedded security chip, and a Kensington lock. Some models have an optional IR sensor for Windows Hello. On the software front, we have HP Wolf Security Suite, HP Secure Arrays, and SureClick, the good, the bad, and the really bad. Good port selection. Can't complain with the port selection. A USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, plus 3 fast USB Type-A ports, HDMI 2.1 connector, and the LAN port. There's even an optional 4G LTE SIM slot. Easy upgrades. Pretty straightforward to open up the ProBook 440. Swap out the memory with the 2 slots, increase the M.2 SSD storage, and replace the battery when it degrades over time. Quick and cool. The Intel i7-1255U has plenty of performance on tap for general business use and runs silent most of the time. The efficient cores and thermals inside keep the G9 running cool. No Thunderbolt. The G9 lacks a Thunderbolt 4 connector. This is saved for the more expensive EliteBook and ZBook range. SD card reader. It will be a nice-to-have option, especially if you work with digital cameras. Battery performance. Dips when the laptop is not charging on mains power. Power consumption is limited to 12 watts and a quick burst to 17 watts. Keep it plugged in for maximum performance. If you are in the market for a 14-inch business laptop, what other laptops would you be looking at? In no particular order, here's some to consider. Lenovo ThinkBook 14. Dell Inspiron 14. MSI Modern 14 C12M. Acer Aspire Vero AV1451. Lenovo ThinkPad E14 Gen 4. The HP ProBook 440G9 is a solid choice for anyone looking for an affordable and capable laptop for work or play. It has a sleek design, a good display, comfortable keyboard, plenty of ports and decent performance. However, it also has some drawbacks, such as the average webcam, the lack of Thunderbolt or SD support, and the mediocre speakers. If you're after a value-for-money business laptop that runs cool and silent, with excellent security tools to protect your data, the HP ProBook 440G9 is the pick of the bunch. What do you guys think? Leave your comments and discuss below. Hope you guys enjoyed the review of the HP ProBook 440G9 laptop. Please click on the like button if you enjoyed this review video, and subscribe if you would like to watch more of our tech videos. Thanks for watching. Cheers.